Let's do like number 3, okay? Because it's a little bit more complicated than 1 or 2. That sounds okay to you? All right. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm just going to start picking x's and y values, and I'm going to till I find a pattern, and then I can kind of graph from the pattern. And all I'm doing is literally drawing a picture of the slope. Okay. So I am going to make a t-chart. It's going to have x, it's going to have y, and it's going to have dy dx in it. So the first thing I'm going to pick is 0, 0. All right. So I put 0 in for the x and 0 in for the y, and I would get 0 out of this. So I would draw a horizontal slope right there. Okay. Next point I'm going to pick, and I can literally pick anywhere I want. I have to fill in the whole thing. If this was actually on the exam, they would give you like only 9 of these. Andrea, do you have a problem? Was there something wrong, kiddo? Because I noticed you popped back in. Or are we just here to listen and you fell out? All right. So they give you like 6 to 9 of these dots. You wouldn't have to do them all. So on ours, we're going to try to find a pattern if we can. Okay. All right. So I am out 0 and up 1. So if I put that in here, that would be 0 minus 1 would be -1. So I'm going to draw a slope that looks like about -1. It doesn't have to be perfect. And all of my other slopes are going to kind of be relative to that one. Okay. All right. You've got a question? Great. Hang on, and I will, and I'll, as soon as I do this one, I'll answer it. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to keep going up. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to go up 0, 2. So I know that that would be 0 and ooh, -2. So I'm going to draw a little bit steeper, but negative than this one. And then I'm going to do 0, 3, which means, oh, I'm going steeper, but -3. So it's going to be, oh, I guess it was there. So a little bit, it looks like I'm getting steeper as I go up. Now I'm going to go down. Okay, so I'm going to go 0, -1. And I know this is really super tedious, but once we see the pattern, it goes faster. We don't have the pattern yet. I didn't pick wisely. So that's going to go 0, negative is going to be positive. Interesting. So now it's going to be the same kind of, about the same tilt as that one, but in the opposite direction. And I bet when I go here, isn't it going to be 0 and then negative is going to be positive. So it's going to, looks like my pattern, at least going up and down, is that it keeps getting more steep, right? But in the either the positive or the negative direction. So notice I guessed on that last one. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go out. So I'm going to go out 1, up 0. So I'm at this point right here. So it means I've got 2 minus 0. So that would give me a slope of 2. So I know I've got to be kind of similar to this line here. Okay. All right, then I am going to go, let's go out one more. So we're going to go out 2, up 0. So that's going to be like 4 minus 0. So a slope of 4, which means I have to be more steep than that even, which I didn't do a very good job. And then my guess is I'm going to probably get even more steep. Let's see what's going on to the left. So to the left, I'm going to go out -1, up 0. So that's going to be -2. So I'm going to be the opposite steepness of this, right? And I'm going to go -2, 0, so -4. So more steep as I go that way, but in the negative direction. Oh, I've got to improve. Hang on. Okay. Am I making sense so far? We doing all right, ladies, so far? Yes, the bigger the number, the more steep. The smaller the number, less steep. And sometimes we might get to a fraction, like I did. This one's not going to have fractions, but like number 4 would. So we would have like 1/2, 1/3. It would go less steep. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, perfect. And then the sign is basically telling you the direction, right? So either you're going to have a positive slope up or a negative slope coming down. All right, let's see if we can get this 1, 1. I'm going to shift colors just so that we can. So we've got +1, 1. So that's going to go, let's see, 2 minus 1 is going to be a slope of 1. So it looks like it's going to be like this. And then let's see. I think that's right. So then I'm going to keep going up. So it's the out out 1 was going to be 2, up 1 is going to be out 2, 1, up 2. That's what I'm trying to say. Out 1, up 2 is going to be 2 minus 2, which is a slope of 0. Do you see what's going on with the diagonals? Have you picked up on that pattern? Did you notice that this one and it's kind of up over diagonal is the same? This one, it's up and over, like up 2 over diagonal, up 2 over diagonal. They're the same. So that's a pattern that I could use. All right. So I know that if I'm going to follow that same pattern, up 2 over 1 should look like this. From this one, it should be up 2 over 1, a slope of 1, right? And then I bet that this one goes negative, huh? So let's see. The out 1, up 3 is going to be 6 minus 1, which is 5. So no, it isn't. 1 minus 3 is not 5. It's going to be negative 2. So this is going to start going, so it went to negative. So it's probably getting more, it's probably negative here and then positive here. So if I was going to just kind of estimate from here, I know that we've got a patterns kind of going on, but I know that my slopes are going to get more steep as we go up. Right, and then these ones, let's see, I probably should test something in this direction and see what's going on. So I'm going to go negative 1 and see what's happening there. So that would be negative 2 minus a positive or plus a 1. So that's going to be negative 1. So it's looking like this. And then I bet it goes more negative and then more negative as we go down. And I could test more points, okay, if I wanted to, or if I needed to. And then this one here is going to be, let's see, negative 1 or positive 1, negative 1 would be 2 plus 1, which is 3. So it looks like they're positive slopes in this one. And again, just relative, it's probably going to keep getting steeper and keep getting steeper as I go down and keep getting steeper. Is that a little bit better, Marilyn? Yeah, kind of. Are there any others? Because I know that was there were only 4 of them where you had to actually plot by hand. Did you get the other ones back okay, or do I need to do any of the other type of problems? It's just tedious. You just have to kind of keep plugging away at points. We could cheat and put it into Desmos, right? And put our points into Desmos. Number 13. Okay. And then Andrea, we will do whatever your question is. Do you want to type your question into the chat? Or we can talk on the microphone. It doesn't matter to me. Slope fields, certain differentials shown at the right. Which of the following could be the specific solution for that differential equation? All right, so what we probably need to do here is we need to pick a point and then look at the derivative at that point, because this is a graph of the derivatives, okay? So probably what I would do is I would take the derivatives and I would kind of, if I know what my graph looks like, then I can kind of eliminate based on that. So if I know my parent graph, let's start there. Let's talk about our parent graphs, okay? Doesn't this guy look like that? There's no way I'm going to get that out of the slope fields, right? So I'm going to eliminate this one. We know that this one is a wave. This is definitely not a wave. So I'm going to get rid of that one, okay? We know that e to the x looks like this. It's down to these other two. And I could look at my derivatives. Okay, so let's say I know my derivative of this one is 1 over x. I know that this derivative is going to be negative e to the negative x, right, because of the chain rule. And then I could pick a value to put in. So let's say we pick the value. This is split into about thirds, right? So let's pick the value 1, 1. We know it has to be a positive slope. Oh, and check this out, okay? So if I put 1 into here, I get 1 out of it, right? The x value of 1. If I put 1 into here, I get negative e to the negative 1, which is negative 1 over e. This is a negative slope no matter what, so it has to be this one right here. Andrea, I will take everything from second semester. I will not take anything from first semester. Does that sound good? Are we okay, Marilyn, on 13 now? You're welcome. And you're welcome, Andrea. All right, do we have any other questions, ladies? You're welcome, Noelle. If I give this to you on the test, I'm not going to expect that many points. So on these ones on the tables, do it until you see a pattern, and then just go with the pattern. I'm not expecting to see every point of the table. Okay? Does that make sense? You can calculate it. You're welcome. You too, kiddo.